So last night I was doing my thing, playing some Borderlands 2, as I do. I just finished my 3rd raid boss, and then I was feeling a little bit empty inside. I almost beat the game. So then I quit the game. Played a little bit Freebie, a free game that I got on the internet. I just finished the last achievement. Then I closed that as well. What do I do next? I feel a bit of nostalgia. I go back on history a bit. I go on the internet, find one of the greatest gaming incidents ever. GamerGate, a story about journalism turned sexist. And who's one of the biggest cowards of it? Anita Sarkeesian. So I checked her out. No, that's sexual harassment. Fuck. Anita Sarkeesian, of course, known for having one of the greatest shows on the internet, Tropes vs. Women, a Kickstarter-backed YouTube series that's gained over $150K. Are you fucking kidding me? People pay for this shit? My god. So 150K. God damn. Jesus Christ. Wait, how many shows does this have? The second season has 7. Alright, or first 20 21 episodes and you paid 150K. My god. Wait, let me do the math here. So 21 divided by 150K. Let's be generous and say it's 150. How much is it exactly? It's more than 150K. It doesn't give me the exact numbers where I see. So I'm gonna say 150,000 divided by 121. Wow. What was that thing that Leonardo DiCaprio said in Wolf of Wall Street?
The way I looked at it, their money was better off in my pocket.
Yeah. My god. So, I decided to watch the latest episode of, but for free, as a matter of fact. You know, on YouTube for free. If it was on Red, maybe I'd watch it with money, which I won't. But since it's free, I can watch it and not pay a shit ton of money to watch this show. Anita, of course, makes some of the most ridiculous problems out of nothing, thin air, things that are just irrelevant to a gamer or a game. The latest of which is Sinister Seductress. Let's watch this. Yo, just a note up, the kid in my class sitting next to me, he doesn't cover his mouth when he coughs, so I got sick too. I might cough a lot during watching this. Alright?
Look into my eyes and tell me you want me. Tell me you'd kill for me. Anything I want.
I'd like to point out right here that everything in her intro is very, very hand-picked. Out of all of these characters, there's so many more that are not like skimpily dressed.
id Software's 2004 game Doom 3 took the basic concept of their earlier Doom titles, a space marine single-handedly fighting his way through hordes of demonic abominations, but it used the vastly improved computer graphics of its time to create a moodier, scarier tone. Along with the reimagined environments, sharper textures, and more atmospheric lighting effects, the creative team also designed some unsettling new monsters for this latest confrontation with the forces of hell. One of those new monsters was the Vagary, a monstrosity with the upper half of a naked woman and the lower half of a giant spider, who also happens to be pregnant with a demon fetus in her abdomen. It's no mistake that the Vagary blends female sexuality.
Yo, you don't assume her gender. You'll get burned alive by the internet.
Sexuality and fertility with elements designed to be unsettling or horrifying. The book The Making of Doom 3 reveals that the game's creative team summed up the driving concept for the Vagary with the equation sexy plus gross equals creepy. What the makers of Doom 3 may not have realized is that this equation was in no way new, original, or innovative.
You make this innovation seem very important, yet time and time again, gamers have been failed by innovation, quote-unquote, innovation, or new concepts in games. Like you actually care about how game and game mechanics work, or how the experience is, Anita. Well, kind of the experience. The experience of being triggered while playing a game.
On the contrary, by singling out the Vagary, the only female enemy in the game, for her gender and using this to make her uniquely repulsive, the designers were participating in a very long tradition of creating female creatures who function to demonize femaleness itself.
I don't know what like femaleness is. Is it dyeing your hair red? Because that Spider Woman thing doesn't do that. A centaur is typically male. Is that grotesque? If it didn't have abs and stuff? I think it would. Harry Potter messed me up. But there's nothing aesthetically like a woman other than there's nothing aesthetically like a woman other than her tits on that body. There's nothing else. She's got spider eyes too, right there. Can you not see it? And the pregnancy, that's just weird. That's just weird. I know seahorses, the guys get pregnant. That's still weird to me too.
To understand how such characters function, we actually need to venture back a few millennia, to time when myth and folklore were part of how people interpreted and made sense of the world.
Ah, yet we know those are myths. Except for, like, a handful of people in Greece who actually believe in Greek mythology. But common sense people who actually use their brains, know that this stuff is myth, dear Anita.
Just as modern media both reflects and shapes our culture today, those ancient stories weren't simply meaningless entertainment in their own time. They reflected and reinforced cultural values. Sadly, misogyny has been part of cultures for the past few thousand years, and the myths and folktales of those cultures reflect that, with female creatures and monsters who represented beliefs that women are inherently deceptive, manipulative, or evil.
This isn't R, this is can. There's a distinct difference. Everybody can be deceptive. Nobody is. Like, not everybody is. It's not inherent in people.
In his book Misogyny, The World's Oldest Prejudice, Jack Holland explores this through the story of Pandora from Greek mythology. The first woman, Pandora, was created by Zeus specifically to punish humanity after Prometheus stole fire from the gods.
Wait a shit. Wait, let me refresh my memory with this Wikipedia. Was it to punish humanity, Anita? Or was it to punish, or was it to punish Prometheus? Come on, Anita. Like, really.
She's given a sealed jar and told to never open it. But because Zeus designed her to be evil and lacking in morals or manners...
Morals, manners, or evil doesn't come in this. Pandora is very curious. Come on. Curiosity is what overcomes her.
Of course she does open it. By doing so, she unleashes evil into the world, dooming humankind to labor, suffering, aging, illness, and death. Where else have I heard a story about the first woman doing something she's not supposed to do and being responsible for all the bad things in the world?
Now this is what I call innovation. Innovative tactics attacking religion. Good job, feminism. Love you. Very bold move right there.
Commenting on what the tale of Pandora and others like it actually tell us about ancient Greece, Holland writes, as well as burdening Pandora with responsibility for the moral lot of man, the Greeks created a vision of woman as the other, the antithesis to the male thesis.
I mean, antithesis. I mean, like, there's an innie and there's an outie. You know, it's kind of the opposite. You get it?
Who needed boundaries to contain her. Any history of the attempt to dehumanize half of the human race is confronted by this paradox, that some of the values we cherish most were forged in a society that devalued, denigrated, and despised women. And in his book The Gender Knot, Alan G. Johnson discusses the relationship between mythology and misogyny, saying the cultural expression of misogyny, the hatred of femaleness, takes many forms. It's found in ancient and modern beliefs that women are inherently evil and a primary cause of human misery. Products of what the Greek philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras called the evil principle which created chaos, darkness, and woman. So there's a little mathematical fun fact for you. The guy who came up with the theorem you learned in geometry class wasn't just a brilliant mathematician, he was also a total misogynist.
Misogyny has nothing to do with this great guy's amazing formula. I use this so much in class right now. His personal life, did it affect his science? No! What was important is his science, and his science is proving to be very good.
The equation sexy plus gross equals creepy pertains not just to the vagary, but to a whole category of characters I refer to as grotesquely female. These are characters who incorporate highly gendered or sexualized elements in ways that are specifically intended to be creepy or disgusting. Other examples of the grotesquely female include Diablo III Sedea, the Maiden of Lust who spouts dialogue in a sensual, seductive tone while also taking the form of a giant spider woman.
I will take great pleasure in your suffering.
I know this stuff is kind of subjective, personal, but I know, Anita, you don't really see what's, you very project what guys think are attractive. To me, no, not so much. A giant spider lady doing that, to me, no. That, not really, my thing.
Clotho, the third sister of Fate in God of War II, has naked breasts all over her body in a way that's clearly meant to be repulsive.
Yeah,
While in Dante's Inferno, Cleopatra's nipples release demon babies who attack the player. And, well, I don't think the footage of the boss Kaylee from Bloodforge needs any explanation.
Bloodforge? Wait a second. Bloodforge, you mean that... I'd like to say 10 out of 10 IGN, but, 4 out of 10, yeah, IGN in 2012, one of those household games, You very well picked this list of, games to call out, Anita.
Now, of course, there's no shortage of male characters in games who are meant to elicit disgust, but the unsettling nature of those characters is not tied explicitly to their gender. They don't function to suggest that maleness itself is inherently disgusting or dangerous. With these female characters, on the other hand...
I like what you say here. You say this to try and not have double standards in your video, but right here, let's take this guy, for example. I don't remember what his name is from, the game Outlast. Alright, let's take someone like let's take a few characters from Tekken and Street Fighter. Alright, some of those guys from that. You see these giant abs on these guys? You see them? Now tell me, would it be gross if these men with giant abs had guts, beer bellies? Would you not be a bit taken aback by that? Like you are by seeing this giant behemoth of a man in Outlast. I was scared shitless when he caught me.
Little pig.
With these female characters, on the other hand, their grotesque nature is inextricably tied to their gender.
Is it really? I mean, like, in Dante's Inferno, that girl, that woman, she's half-chested, and she's a bit, like, purple. I mean, like, let's take something like a movie like Avatar. Those women are pretty much naked, wearing bikinis or something, and, like, I guess they're fit, and, like, in Tekken, they're half naked, the guys. The fact that she's gross is only because she has demon babies coming out of her nipples. I haven't played Dante's Inferno. It must be, quality. I'm sure it is. Like, really. But, come on. And also, let me take this. Look, let's take this. 7 deadly sins. Gluttony. Gluttony, man. Look at this behemoth of a woman in God of War. Come on. I think there's one of, like... being fat is one of the most grotesque things ever. Like, obesely. You see? Just like it is with this guy here you point out. I mean, he's not as much as that god woman in the God of War, but,
Their grotesque nature is inextricably tied to their gender.
And it's not. It's just not based on their gender. Like, it's just not. She's got... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. 5 chins on this woman. My god, that's nothing to do with her having tits.
Elements that are often presented as titillating in other contexts are twisted and made repugnant, so that their femaleness itself is what serves to make them disgusting. Exploiting women's femaleness is not always done by presenting them as repulsive. With some, it's their attractiveness or seductiveness that makes them worthy of fear, scorn, and contempt. Among the most famous female mythological creatures
Again, mythological. Please, Anita.
are the sirens, whose voices were irresistibly alluring to men who sailed near their island and heard their songs. But the music of the sirens was as dangerous as it was captivating, and the sailors who were seduced by the sound soon found themselves shipwrecked and stranded. Some interpretations characterize the sirens as cannibals who murdered the shipwrecked men and feasted on their flesh. And there are endless other mythological creatures created explicitly to demonize women, such as the succubus, a female demon who sexually lures and seduces men.
Yes. Did you play God of War Ascension? That game, have you seen the behind the scenes of that? This one character with like pincers for arms and legs. She's like pincers on her arms and legs, and her torso is a woman. That's like, they went through it in detail how they picked this, and you can see why it was, how disturbing it was. The two combined.
The harpy, a screeching bird creature with the face of a woman.
Head, please.
And of course the classic witch, a dangerous myth that resulted in the deaths of tens of thousands of real women across Europe and the American colonies in the 16th and 17th centuries.
Yes, it did. People believed in witches and burned witches when they admitted by force that they were a witch. But please tell me how this has something to do with gaming. Please tell me why you're attacking gaming like this.
These archaic, villainizing notions about femaleness are anything but ancient history.
Please
Their
tell us
contemporary
how.
counterparts still show up in many games today, communicating the same regressive ideas about women's sexuality. In the 2010 game Mass Effect 2, players can agree to help the Asari Justicar Samara capture her daughter Morinth, a fugitive who suffers from a genetic disorder that makes mating with her deadly. When Samara confronts Morinth, players have two options: to keep their word and help Samara, or to betray and kill Samara and add Morinth to their team in her place. If players side with Morinth, she later tries to seduce Shepard with talk of the incredible ecstasy they might experience with her.
You and I can share something so intense, so deep, it will change your life.
But if players are swayed by Morinth's promises and choose to be with her, Shepard dies, just like all of Morinth's other lovers.
Look, I can see... Look, I haven't played Mass Effect 2 yet. I just started the first one. But this to me, it seems like it's trying to emulate AIDS or some sort of sexually transmitted disease. You see how you mate with you see how you bang someone, you might get something and then you die. That's how it works, right?
While grotesquely female characters are designed to make femaleness repugnant by blending sexuality and repulsiveness, temptresses like Morinth make femaleness threatening because of their sexuality and attractiveness.
Wait, can we... What?
Choose to be with her, Shepard dies.
Isn't it...
Shepard dies.
Because...
Shepard dies.
If you...
Shepard dies.
Do it with her...
Shepard dies. Shepard dies.
You'll die?
Shepard dies.
I mean, didn't you just go over that? Come on, Anita.
This tradition of sexualized evil women in the Temptress mold include characters ranging from the Dark Queen of the Battletoads games to Elizabeth from Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. In Hitman Absolution, if players track the target Layla to a secret room in the penthouse, she strips for Agent 47 in an attempt to distract him before drawing a gun and trying to kill him.
Like happens with a lot of games, what's so bad about this? There's nothing to do with her having tentacles for arms or something. She's a human and trying to distract him. You just said that. That's nothing to do. And she's a bad guy. Bad girl. Sorry. I'm gonna get burned now. Also, I seen this game. I never understood this. While she tries to take off her bra, she pulls out a gun. I didn't understand that. It's weird to me.
The problem with these representations is not that they depict female characters who are sexual.
Oh, good. We're getting to the problem of the video. We're getting to the actual point if Anita has one.
It's the way that sexuality is presented, as a threat or a weapon rather than as something to be enjoyed by these women and those they choose to consensually share it with. It's a false notion of female sexuality rooted in ancient misogynistic ideas about women as deceptive and evil.
Wait, Mass Effect, can we go back to that? Didn't she want to do it with Shepard? She wanted that, didn't she? She warned Shepard about this and stuff. Then she chose to do that, and then these gods from God of War and Dante's Inferno, they choose not to wear clothes. Why am I justifying the ideas that virtual women have? These AI, they don't. Oh my god.
Games sometimes blend the two extremes of the temptress and the grotesquely female, presenting us with female characters who initially appear attractive and alluring, only to have their true form revealed as monstrous and threatening. The critically acclaimed 2013 game Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, tells the story of brothers on a quest to find a cure for their ailing father. At one point on their journey, they rescue a young woman who it appears is about to be sacrificed. The seemingly innocent young woman then travels with the brothers for a while, flirting with the older one and luring the two of them off course and into a shadowy cave. Here, her true nature and intentions are revealed when she transforms into a giant spider and tries to trap the protagonist in her web. The boys escape from her trap and fight back, ultimately killing her, but not before she gives the older brother a fatal wound. DMC features a scene in which Dante confronts Lilith, a character whose sexualization is intended to be unsettling rather than titillating.
Yes,
as if
it
she
is.
thinks she's sexually appealing, while the player is meant to find her unattractive.
Yes, that's what the developers wanted the character to be like. These characters, these creators, these developers, they have an idea and they want to portray that idea. They have characters in their head and they put them on the screen. You don't like it, you don't buy the game. That's how you make them not make these characters. If they don't get money, they won't be able to make them anymore. My god.
Lilith then undergoes a horrifying transformation as the demon spawn she's carrying inside of her emerges to fight Dante. In Missplosion Man, the final boss initially appears to be a cartoonishly sexy woman in a wedding dress. However, when she's defeated for the first time, she reveals her true form, a gigantic, grotesque female creature.
Oh my god. Her tits are ice. My god, that's so funny. Yes, it's played for laughs. Anita, how can you not see this? That's hilarious.
While this is played for laughs, the core idea that female sexuality is inherently deceptive or threatening remains the same. While this is played for laughs, the core idea that female sexuality is inherently deceptive or threatening remains the same.
Yes, female sexuality is deceptive. If you look at you look at tits, they'll look right back at you. You don't know what to expect with these women.
With all of these character types, their femaleness or sexuality is an intrinsic part of what is intended to make them dangerous or repulsive.
Is it like, look at that spider chick right there. I mean, what's repulsive is she's got a spider body.
As a result, when male heroes defeat them, their victory is often explicitly gendered, emphasizing that the male protagonist has overcome the female threat and reinserted his dominance and control. This can be as simple as the use of gendered slurs, as in Gears of War 3 when Marcus Phoenix stabs and kills the Locust Queen.
And everyone else you killed, you bitch.
What? So guys don't call other guys bitch? That's what you're trying to get out, Anita? Really?
Or it can be graphically sexual, as in the killing of Cleopatra in Dante's Inferno, or in this boss fight in Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which ends with the protagonist impaling the vampire through the mouth. Yeah. Of course, it's entirely possible to have female villains who don't reinforce the idea that female sexuality or femaleness itself is threatening or repulsive.
Good. Let's get some good characters. Let's hear Anita praise the gaming industry for once.
In Knights of the Old Republic 2, Kreia is a richly developed and complex villain whose evil is not tied to her gender. In the Portal games, the malicious AI GLaDOS' obsession with taunting and killing the protagonist is presented in a smart, engaging way that doesn't reinforce misogynistic ideas about women as a whole.
Wait, let me get this straight. GLaDOS, this AI, because she has a female voice, of course, she's female, of course, this AI. So she tries to kill us, this GLaDOS. You see, Anita? Doesn't that mean that every single woman on Earth is going to kill every other man or woman? In this case, because we're playing as a female shell in Portal. GLaDOS is a woman and she's trying to kill us. That means every single woman is trying to kill us, Anita. Do you not see this?
The Enrichment Center once again reminds you that Android Hell is a real place where you will be sent at the first sign of defiance.
And no list of cool female villains from games is complete without the dashing criminal mastermind Carmen Sandiego.
Yes, this game. This household name like Grand Theft Auto, Gears of War, or Halo, or in recent memory, Overwatch. This household game known by every single gamer out there.
These representations are often defended because they're rooted in storytelling traditions that date back for thousands of years. But for as long as it has existed, misogyny has been reinforced by the stories that cultures have told themselves. Myths, legend, folktales, and religious teachings have been used as tools to contribute to the oppression of women for millennia.
Yet, unfortunately for you to push this agenda, Anita, these kind of ideas aren't believed as much as they were a few millennia ago, as you said.
When games today uncritically employ such representations, they aren't tapping into some intrinsic truth of human existence.
Yes, they aren't. They're tapping into what the developers wanted to portray in their art.
They're doing what stories involving such characters have always done, perpetuating false notions that women are inherently misleading and manipulative, and that female sexuality is something to be shamed, feared, and controlled.
This is nothing to do with women. This is has everything to do with the character. The character that the creators wanted to make.
Those ideas were harmful 2,800 years ago, and they're still harmful today.
Please do not make a period right there. Do not end your sentence. Please elaborate on how these are harmful for today's women. These games... games... These games are harmful to girls in the 21st century. It's a common known fact that when I hire a prostitute in GTA 5 and then run her over for my money back, that happens to real women. So what I want to end this video with is that what these games are portraying is the ideas and thoughts and imagination of the developers. And if you do not like it, you do not support them by buying their games, their merchandise, everything else that they sell. Because if they do not make a profit, they cannot continue to make that product. They will not make it. It's simple economics. Do you not get it? I might give her credit if she had legs to stand on, but no. She has pincers to stand on. She's repulsive. These ideas are just gross and are attacking gaming for no reason. No good reason, that is. My God. If I were paid like 7,000 for one video, Jesus. My God.